all around the back, and welcome, William Ryden!
Thank you very much. Wolverhampton, how are we? Are you well? That is going to change. It's lovely to be here. A bit of backstory, not many people in this room know me. My name is William Ryden, I'm 26 years old, and I live up the road in Shifnal on my own in a single bedroom box flat which I rent directly above a kebab shop. I used to go to the kebab shop quite a lot, but I'm above that now. Thank you, Wolverhampton. I've been William Ryden. It's been fantastic. Now, it's safe to say my life's not going the way I've maybe planned. I grew up in rural Lincolnshire. I couldn't afford to move to London. I couldn't afford to move to Manchester. But a job opportunity came up in Shifnal, Shropshire, and people back home said, Will, Shropshire is the land of milk and honey. It's where everything is happening. It's the indie city. It's the capital of cool. Move there and it'll be the making of you. And I'm so glad I listened to those people 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a newspaper I bought in one of Shifnal's 2 co-ops. Mouse droppings in Odeon Cinema. Now, I'm not saying Shropshire is boring, I would never say that, but a mouse once took a shit. And it made headline news. I'm not a prop comedian. I bring the newspaper on for nearly 2 reasons. One, that was the best joke of the routine. It's rapidly downhill from here. Number 2, I'm a relatively new comedian. This is actually my 8th ever gig. Always confidence, isn't he? I know. So in the very likely scenario that this all goes to pot, we can just do the Sudoku together. But like I say, I grew up in rural Lincolnshire. I now live in Shropshire on my own. The benefit of living in a place where there's not much to do and you live on your own is that you get time for your own hobbies. I've got 2 hobbies. One of them is say wanky. How did you know? I must remember to close the curtains. One of them is raw dogging. Anyone heard of raw dogging? No? Dogging was one of them. Raw dogging is a bit of an extension of that. Raw dogging is when you have sex without a condom. With a dog. I know I'm from Lincolnshire, so I have sex with my family. So. My other hobby, people at the back can't see, incredibly long, skinny legs, an incredibly figure of nothing. I think that's fair to say. I'm a runner. Is anyone else here a runner? I'm mainly not looking down here, little Oscar Pistorius. I told him, when I went to the bathroom, I told him, I'm going to the toilet, it's me in there. Sorry, I'm buying quite after, sorry. Making friends with it. I do live above a kebab shop, I don't used to, it's my reality.
Excuse me, these guys need a lift down.
Okay, that's fine, okay, that's fair enough, yeah.
Ye old kebabi.
Ye old kebabi, that's the one, there you go. I know I got called a wanker now. But like I say, I'm a runner. I'm a runner for my hobby is running. I got into running when I was 10 years old. Back then I was running away from the realisation my parents were getting an earth-shattering divorce. Now I just do 5Ks, that's a lot easier for me. But I'm a runner for a lot of reasons. Mainly, it's a cheap sport. It's the cheapest sport, it's the easiest sport to do. And I'm a cheapskate, Wolverhampton, I don't mind telling you. I live above a kebab shop, you probably gleaned that from now. I'm a cheapskate, I'm a cheap person, I don't like spending money, but I grew up with 2 parents from West Yorkshire. That is the reason for that, right? You know, parents from West Yorkshire do not spend money. And I understand it, you know, the circumstances they grew up in. My lack of being able to spend money, I got it from my parents. They got it from their parents. Their parents got it from Margaret Thatcher closing all the mines. Thatcher's right. Seems a bad thing, alright?
He's a bitch.
I know, I agree. But that's why I'm a cheap person, really. I got it from my parents. I mean, the other thing about, is there anyone here from Yorkshire? No, okay.
Eating Wolverhampton.
I was aware. Good, I'm going to slag the place off for the next. Where are you from?
Mum's from Yorkshire.
Oh, good, mine too. We might be related. But people from West Yorkshire, I don't know if anyone's seen the Monty Python sketch of the Yorkshiremen who all try and talk about how rough their upbringing was, right? That is genuinely not a sketch. That was just live footage of some Yorkshire people. It's exactly what it's like. And I'm very well aware, I know I'm a new comedian, that material about having a northern family at Christmas has probably been rinsed to shit by Peter Kay. I'm not going to go over all of it, right? But over Christmas, right, that is what they do. And over Christmas, my Uncle Richard came down, right? Uncle Richard came down to Lincolnshire. It was my mum, my dad, Uncle Richard, me in the kitchen, the sexual chemistry, you could cut it with a knife. And they're all trying to outdo each other, and I haven't picked up on this yet. And my mum said, does anyone want a brew? And I went, I'll have one, please. I'll have a coffee with milk and 2 sugars. Right. And I know. Well, that's what my Uncle Richard and Dad looked at each other and did that noise. And my dad went, I'll have a coffee, please, love, and all, but no sugar, no milk. Right. And I looked over at Uncle Richard. What's he going to say? And he went, I'll have a coffee and all, but no milk, no sugar, no coffee, no water, but you know lime scale on bottom of kettle. Can you just fucking scrape all that off? Died on Boxing Day, kidney stone. But like I say, I'm a runner because it's a cheap sport and I'm a cheap person. The only thing you can really spend any money on when you're running is one of these, a running watch, right? Now, I don't mind telling you, I'm an engineer. I don't have many expenditure. I live above a kebab shop, right? I've got some savings. My only hobby in life is running. What did I do? I bought the cheapest running watch you could fucking buy. Of course I did! Come on, I can't enjoy anything. But over Christmas, right, I saw the advert for the really expensive version of this running watch, right? And over Christmas I saw it. It was a weird advert. It was just 2 voices talking, and at the end it sort of got made apparent to you that one of the voices was actually AI, right? And at the end the text came on the screen and explained it all, right? And it said that the voices you're hearing, one is a paramedic, one is the AI in the watch, right? And a guy had fallen off a path while trail running in America, and he was slowly bleeding out on the desert floor, right? Miles from anywhere. His watch, the expensive version of my watch, had detected he'd had an impact and he wasn't responding. It called a paramedic, spoke to the paramedic, gave them his name, his last known GPS coordinates, and his live vitals, and within 30 minutes, an air ambulance arrived on the scene and they saved the man's life.
Oh, God.
I know. Now,
What's yours, did?
you've seen me before. My watch, on the other hand, at about 10:30 Tuesday night a few weeks ago, posted a wank I had onto Strava. And it called it Will's Midnight Activity. And all of my friends saw it. My bosses at work saw it. My mum gave it a thumbs up. So I was trying hard. She was in the next room actually. She was going, go on, Will, go on! But I'm an optimistic person. I've always been an optimistic person. And with a time of 5 minutes 30 seconds from start to finish, that is a personal best. That's my last bit. Oh yeah. Well, the problem with running, right, as a sport, you get injured a lot. One of the ways to fix injuries, massage. We are a country that sexualised massage. Going for a massage is one of the cardinal sins. You can't tell anyone you're going for a massage. I wish we were one of these countries that embrace massage, right? I want to be one of these countries that has a type of massage named after them, you know? Thai, Swede, from up the road here, hot stone. There's a radius away from Staffordshire, that joke won't work, I'm keeping pushing it. Now, I want to tell you a story about when I went to Poland last year. I did the Warsaw Marathon, right? Okay, I go around Europe doing these events. I've not really got much going on in my life. And when I was in Poland last year, okay, you go to these places, and I try to embrace the culture. I have the local cuisine. I try to see the sights and all that sort of stuff. And I try to get a traditional massage from that place if I get injured, which is very often. Right? Now, these places have a traditional massage. You only go there once, and they tell you this is traditional. but there's no way of vouching for that, is there? Have you ever seen this footage of like Russian people being put into a sauna for 3 hours and then beaten with palm leaves? Has someone just gone, that's hilarious, let's keep telling them that's traditional? Right. And when I was in Poland, I'm going to leave you this Wolverhampton. I'm so new to comedy, I don't know how mic stands work. It's got to be this on it. There we go, look at that. Pro. Right. Face you, because that's who I'm speaking to. Right. When I was in Warsaw, I went for a traditional Polish massage. Right? I was pulled limb from limb for the best part of an hour, right? And at the end of the session, my spinal cord's here, right? The guy put his hands on my back and I felt them at my lower back like that. And he said these words into my ear, which I will never ever forget for the rest of my life. I'm going to leave you with that Wolverhampton. You ready? Big, big spider crawls up back. Veshnak, Veshnak. Big, big spider crawls right back. It's the Polska way. Now, I don't know the dictionary definition of abuse. Right, Wolverhampton, that was genuinely my... what a way to... That was genuinely my gig, and this is a really nice room, so I hope to come back. Thank you so much.